Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful today. When you step into your greatness, when you become the person who owns their confidence, their purpose, and their value, you become someone that no one ever wants to lose. Because here's the truth. People are not drawn to perfection. They are drawn to presence. They are drawn to energy. They are drawn to the undeniable force of someone who knows who they are, who refuses to shrink, and who walks through life with an unshakable sense of self. See, too many people walk through life waiting for someone to validate them, waiting for someone to tell them they're beautiful, smart, worthy, enough. But let me ask you something. Why are you waiting for permission to believe in yourself? Why are you waiting for someone else to define your worth when you have the power to own it, live it, and breathe it every single day? The moment you stop waiting for approval and start embodying your own greatness is the moment everything shifts. Because confidence isn't something you're given. It's something you decide. And when you decide, when you choose to show up as the best, most powerful version of yourself, you become someone unforgettable. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks before you even say a word. People feel confidence, they feel self-respect, they feel whether or not you believe in yourself. And let me tell you, when you radiate that belief, that certainty, that unwavering sense of self, the right people will be drawn to you, and the wrong ones, they'll fall away. And that's a good thing. Because your job is not to convince someone to see your worth. Your job is to stand so firmly in your worth that only those who truly recognize it get the privilege of being in your life. But confidence alone isn't enough. You have to bring something even more powerful to the table: authenticity. Because confidence without authenticity is just an act, and people see through it. If you want to be truly magnetic, you have to be real. You have to own every part of who you are, your strengths, your quirks, your passions, your flaws. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. The world needs the raw, unfiltered, unedited version of you. And let me tell you something. When you have the courage to show up as your true self, you will attract people who love you for exactly who you are. Not for who you pretend to be, not for who you think they want you to be, but for you. And let's talk about respect. Because the way you allow others to treat you is a direct reflection of how you value yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, if you accept less than what you deserve, you are sending a message that says, this is okay. And I need you to hear me right now. It is not okay. You are worthy of being treated with love, with kindness, with respect, with admiration. And the moment you decide to raise your standards, the moment you stop settling, is the moment your life changes. Because people will either rise to meet you or they will walk away. And either way, you win. Because the ones who step up, those are the ones who deserve you. Now let's go deeper. True strength is not just about standing tall. It's about having the courage to be vulnerable, to open your heart, to love without fear, but with wisdom. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never get hurt. They are the ones who get hurt and still choose to love, still choose to believe, still choose to move forward with grace. That kind of strength, that's rare. That's powerful. That's what makes you truly unforgettable. And finally, let me leave you with this. People are drawn to passion, to purpose, to a life that is vibrant and full. You want to be someone no one wants to lose? Build a life that is so fulfilling, so exciting, so rich in love, growth, and adventure that anyone who enters it feels lucky to be a part of it. Because here's the truth. You don't need anyone to complete you. you are already whole. And when you live from that place, when you show up as a confident, authentic, self-respecting, emotionally strong, purpose-driven force, no one will ever want to let you go, because you, my friend, are irreplaceable. Too many people go through life waiting for someone else to tell them they are worthy. They look for validation in relationships and approval from others and whether someone calls, texts, or chooses them. But let me tell you something powerful. Your worth is not determined by someone else's ability to see it. Your value does not decrease just because someone fails to recognize it. The moment you stop looking outside yourself for validation and start owning who you are, the game changes. Because when you step into your confidence, when you radiate a deep, unshakable belief in yourself, people take notice. Confidence is magnetic, but not the kind of fake surface-level confidence that comes from trying to impress others. I'm talking about the kind of confidence that comes from knowing deep in your core that you are enough. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. The kind that walks into a room and doesn't seek attention but commands it effortlessly. That is the kind of confidence that makes you unforgettable. That is the kind of energy that people, especially the right people, cannot ignore. Because when you own your presence, when you walk through life with certainty, the right man will see it and never want to let you go. But confidence alone is not enough. You also have to be real. In a world where so many people are trying to be something they're not, authenticity is rare. And that's exactly why it's so attractive. When you show up as your true self, unapologetic about who you are, you give others permission to do the same. You create real connections, and real connection is what makes people stay. Pretending to be what you think someone wants will never make you irreplaceable. Being fully, completely, unapologetically you. That's what makes you unforgettable. And let me be clear, the right person will love you for who you truly are, not for some version of yourself that you think you need to be to gain their approval. Beyond confidence and authenticity, there is something else that makes you absolutely irresistible: self-respect. The way you allow others to treat you sets the standard for how they will. If you tolerate being treated poorly, if you accept less than you deserve, you are sending the message that you are okay with it. And let me tell you right now, you shouldn't be. You teach people how to treat you by the way you carry yourself, by the boundaries you set, and by the standards you uphold. When a man sees a woman who knows her worth and refuses to settle for anything less than respect, he either steps up or steps out. And if he steps out, that's your blessing, because the right man will never be intimidated by a woman who knows what she deserves. He will be inspired by her. Strength is another thing that makes you someone no one ever wants to lose. And I don't mean just the kind of strength that keeps you standing tall. I mean emotional strength. The kind of strength that allows you to be vulnerable without fear, to love without losing yourself, to give without depleting your own well-being. Real strength is not about being cold or closed off. It's about having a heart that is both strong and soft, about knowing when to walk away, but also knowing when to let someone in. That balance is powerful, and it makes you unforgettable. And finally, one of the most magnetic things about a person is passion. Having a life that is full, exciting, and driven by something greater than just a relationship. When you wake up every day with purpose, when you chase your dreams, when you build a life that you love, you become someone people want to be around. You are no longer waiting for someone to bring you happiness. You are creating it for yourself. And that kind of energy, that kind of passion, that is what makes you someone no one will ever want to let go. Because when you are fully alive, fully present, fully you are simply unforgettable. Too often, people fall into the trap of thinking they need to change who they are to be loved, to be chosen, to be kept. They believe they have to fit into a certain mold, act a certain way, or suppress parts of themselves just to be accepted. But the truth is, the moment you start editing yourself to fit into someone else's life is the moment you start losing the very thing that makes you special. You don't need to shrink yourself. You don't need to be less. You need to be more of who you truly are. Because when you stand in your full, unfiltered authenticity, the right person will recognize it, and he will never want to let you go. What makes someone unforgettable? It's not about looks, wealth, or status. It's about energy. It's about how you carry yourself, how you light up a room, how you make others feel when they're around you. When you exude confidence, not arrogance, but real confidence that comes from self-awareness and self-love, you become magnetic. And this kind of confidence doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within. It comes from the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you invest in yourself. A woman who knows her worth does not chase, she attracts. She does not beg, she receives. She does not settle, she rises. But being confident isn't just about how you feel about yourself, it's about the way you show up in your life. When you have something that excites you, something that fuels your passion, something that gives your life deep meaning, you naturally become someone that others want to be around. No one wants to be with a person whose entire world revolves around them. The most attractive thing in the world is someone who is already fulfilled, someone who is building a life that they love, with or without a relationship, because love is not about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone who complements the amazing life you're already living. And here's where it gets real. Self-respect is everything. You cannot expect someone to value you if you do not value yourself. If you accept breadcrumbs, you are telling the world that breadcrumbs are enough for you. If you tolerate disrespect, you are signaling that your boundaries don't matter. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you decide that you will not entertain anything that does not align with the love and respect you deserve, that is the moment everything changes. Because the right man, the one who is meant for you, will rise to meet you. He will recognize your worth, not because you forced him to, but because you stood so firmly in it that he had no choice but to step up. Strength is another thing that makes a person irreplaceable, but strength is not about being guarded. It's not about being tough all the time. True strength is being able to be vulnerable without fear, to open your heart without losing yourself. It's about knowing when to walk away, but also knowing when to fight for what's worth it. A woman who is both strong and soft is a woman who is unforgettable. She is the one people can't stop thinking about, because that balance of resilience and tenderness, of power and grace, is rare. And anything rare is valuable. And finally, the thing that makes you truly unforgettable is joy. People don't remember the things you say as much as they remember how you make them feel. When you radiate happiness, when you carry yourself with ease, when you are genuinely excited about life, that energy is contagious. A person who brings peace, passion, and positivity to someone's life is a person they never want to let go of. And the secret is, you don't need anyone else to create that joy. It starts with you. It starts with choosing to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be fully yourself. Because when you do that, when you live in your truth, love yourself fully, and refuse to settle, you don't have to chase anyone. The right one will see you, recognize your value, and never want to let you go. People often wonder what makes someone truly unforgettable, what makes a person so magnetic, so irreplaceable, that when the right man sees her, he never wants to let her go. It's not about superficial things like beauty or wealth. It's about presence. It's about how you make someone feel when they're around you. It's about the energy you bring, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk through life with confidence, grace, and purpose. Because the truth is, when you know who you are and fully embrace it, you become someone that no one wants to lose. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have, but not the loud, overcompensating kind. Real confidence is quiet yet undeniable. It's the kind that doesn't beg for attention, but naturally commands it. It's the way you move, the way you speak, the way you own your space without apology. And the most powerful thing about confidence, it doesn't come from how others see you, it comes from how you see yourself. It's built in the moments when you choose yourself, when you believe in your own worth, when you show up for yourself day after day. A woman who carries that kind of confidence doesn't chase. She doesn't need to prove anything. She just is. And that kind of energy, it's unforgettable. But confidence alone isn't what makes someone irreplaceable. What makes a person truly captivating is authenticity. Too many people waste time trying to be what they think others want. They filter themselves, dull their shine, shrink parts of who they are in the hopes of fitting into someone else's version of worthy. But that's not how real connection works. The people who leave the greatest impact, the ones who are impossible to forget, are the ones who are unapologetically themselves. They don't perform, they don't pretend, they don't mold themselves to fit a certain image. They own who they are, flaws and all. And that kind of raw, real presence is what creates deep, lasting attraction. And let's talk about self-respect, because this is where everything changes. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't value your time, your heart, your energy, how can you expect anyone else to? The way you allow people to treat you sets the standard for how they will. A woman who knows her worth does not tolerate disrespect. She does not entertain inconsistency. She does not settle for less than she deserves. And the moment you start holding yourself to a higher standard, the moment you decide that you will only accept the kind of love that is worthy of you, the wrong people will fall away and the right ones will step up. Because the right man, he will never risk losing a woman who respects herself. Because he will know that she won't hesitate to walk away if she is not valued. Strength is another quality that makes a person unforgettable. And I'm not just talking about physical or even emotional toughness. I'm talking about the strength to be soft in a world that sometimes makes you want to be hard. The strength to be open, to be kind, to be vulnerable without fear. Too often, people think being strong means being guarded. But true strength is the ability to love deeply while still honoring yourself. It's the ability to give without losing yourself. It's the ability to stand tall in your power while still having a heart that is open and full of love. And finally, there is joy. A woman who is full of life, who finds happiness within herself, who radiates light and positivity, she is someone that no one wants to lose. Because joy is rare. Passion is rare. A person who is happy on their own, who doesn't rely on others for validation, who wakes up excited about their own life, that person is a gift. That person is a force. And when a man sees that kind of woman, he will never want to let her go, because she is the kind of woman who doesn't need anyone, but is a blessing to everyone who has the privilege of knowing her. There is something undeniably powerful about a person who knows their worth. When you fully embrace who you are, When you stop looking for validation and start owning your value, you become someone people never want to let go of. It's not about playing games. It's not about trying to impress. It's about stepping into your truth with so much confidence and authenticity that the right person recognizes it immediately. Because here's the truth. People don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with presence. They fall in love with how you make them feel, how you carry yourself, how you move through life with a sense of purpose and certainty. Confidence is one of the most irresistible qualities in a person. But true confidence isn't about arrogance or trying to prove anything. It's about a deep, quiet knowing that you are enough just as you are. It's about walking into a room without needing to be the loudest person there, but still commanding attention simply because of the energy you bring. It's about knowing your own value so deeply that you don't chase, you attract. The moment you stop seeking approval from others and start believing in yourself is the moment everything shifts. Because when you carry yourself with confidence, people take notice. And the right man, he will never want to let go of a woman who truly believes in herself. But confidence alone isn't enough. There's something even more powerful, something that sets you apart from the rest. Authenticity. In a world where so many people are trying to fit in, to be what they think others want them to be, authenticity is rare. And that's exactly why it's so magnetic. When you show up as your real self, unfiltered, unapologetic, raw, you create a connection that is impossible to fake. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. Because the people who are meant for you, they will love you, not for some version of yourself that you think you need to be, but for exactly who you are. And that kind of connection, that's the kind that lasts. Self-respect is another quality that makes a person truly unforgettable. Because the way you allow others to treat you is a direct reflection of how you value yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, if you settle for less than you deserve, you are teaching people that it's okay to treat you that way. But when you set standards, when you walk away from anything that does not align with the respect and love you know you deserve, you send a message that is impossible to ignore. A woman who respects herself does not beg. She does not plead. She does not wait for someone to realize her worth. She knows it, and she demands that others recognize it too. And the right man? He will never risk losing a woman like that. Because a woman who knows her worth is a woman who will not hesitate to walk away if she is not valued. Strength is another quality that makes someone truly unforgettable, but strength isn't just about standing tall and being tough. True strength is about knowing when to be vulnerable, knowing when to open your heart, knowing when to give love without fear. A strong woman is not one who never falls. She is one who falls and rises every single time. She is one who knows that her softness is not a weakness, but a superpower. And when a man meets a woman who is both strong and soft, both powerful and kind, he knows he has met someone extraordinary. And finally, what truly makes a person unforgettable is joy. People are drawn to energy, to passion, to excitement for life. When you love your life, when you wake up every day with purpose, when you find happiness within yourself instead of looking for someone else to complete you, you become unstoppable. A woman who does not rely on anyone else to make her happy, but instead creates her own joy, that woman is someone no one wants to lose, because happiness is contagious, confidence is contagious, self-love is contagious, and when you embody all of that, when you live fully, love deeply, and stand in your power, the right person will see it, feel it, and never want to let you go.